The NFC West, I think overall is pretty impressive. It remains so as a division. I think it's 49ers and Rams, and their games will be top shelf liquor when they play each other. That's a huge, huge game all NFL season long. I think the Cardinals are pointed in the right direction for the first time. I do not believe in Sam Darnold, but I like the Seahawks around him. As you check out the objects in the 49ers rearview mirror, give me a little thumbnail sketch of the West and how you think it breaks down.
It sounds like you're extremely high on the LA Rams. I am as well. When I look at the LA Rams, and I write about this a lot, I encourage anybody who's going to check out the book. Remember, it's just $1. Go check it out. It's not going to cost you very much, but read up on all of these teams. I'll give you that thumbnail sketch. The Rams are, to me, by far one of the most sleeper type teams in the league, even though they've got high expectations from a win total perspective from the games that they're favored in. Think along these lines of context. The LA Rams lost their number one wide receiver week 1 of the season. He didn't return to week 8, misses almost half the season. They lost their number 2 wide receiver week 2. He doesn't return to week 8. Neither of those top receivers play in week 18. They both sat in week 18. And yet the Rams still win 10 games last year. That to me is remarkable, especially for a team that, that run game is not all that productive. It's consistent, but it's not super explosive. They don't throw the ball to their running backs at all. So you're working with, unlike Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay does not really throw his ball to Kyron Williams hardly ever. And so you're working with an offense that is throwing the ball to tons of backups there for over half the year, and yet they're still winning 10 games. I think this team is better defensively. They're the team that gave the Philadelphia Eagles the biggest test of any throughout the playoffs, and they did so. A dome team from LA playing on the road in Philly in the freezing cold with snow, and almost won that game outright with the Eagles using tush pushes and all these other tricks that they've got up their sleeve.
Had the Rams missed those games, I think the Rams might have won one of them.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And so I think they're a very scary team. I agree completely. I loved researching the Arizona Cardinals. I got really deep into Drew Petzing and what he was doing offensively, and some of my optimism for him because I didn't know him quite as well. And last year I was really impressed by what I saw from him, and I give him those kudos in the book. But they really focused on that defensive side of the ball, bringing in new players, which they obviously needed. They've added a ton of players to the defensive side of that roster, that are going to be very impactful, going to get some quality playing time. And I think that they are headed in the right direction. Clearly, the issue to me comes down to the limitations from Kyler Murray, right? Kyler Murray, his deep ball is very problematic and one of the worst in the NFL. A lot of people don't realize that, who don't really study the Arizona Cardinals. It's a big liability for them. I think if they called the offense, and one of my recommendations to Petzing is reduce the number of deep shots that you're taking on early downs, because Kyler Murray just isn't efficient on those types of passes. You'll have more efficiency if you just occasionally use those types of plays when you need to, as opposed to trying to build them into the offense too frequently. And then obviously Kyler Murray's injury history has not been great. Last year was one of the first years that he was actually healthy from start to finish. And then you move to the Seattle Seahawks. I'm not the biggest Sam Darnold fan either. I think that he got great offensive coaching from Minnesota with Kevin O'Connell, and it was just a magical season for them. Unfortunate for them that they did not get a first-round seed, right? Like they were with the Detroit Lions, I think, in week 18, battling for that. They lose the game, then they lose in the playoffs. I think that was unfortunate for them in that magical season, but I don't think he's a great quarterback. I don't think they have a great running game right now. And so for you to have to win games, but based on average quarterback play, average run game, and hope that your defense is better, and you're going up against the likes of Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay with their quarterbacks, I think that's just going to be challenging for the Seattle Seahawks. So I might actually have the Seahawks and the Cardinals more neck and neck than most people, but I also sort of have the Rams and the 49ers a little bit neck and neck as well, just because the edge might go to the tiebreakers, in that Kyle Shanahan typically has done so well against Sean McVay that edge might end up winning enough, winning the head-to-heads, even though they have a similar record, to propel the 49ers to first place. But I really think the Rams are going to be a very special team this year too.
Hold up your book again for me, please, and give the promo code so people know what it is, where they can pick up this. Again, it is a masterpiece of analysis and stats and information that I think will turn a casual fan into a you now outrank the casual fan. There's some really good learning in there. Tell people where they can get it again, Warren.
You just head on over to sharp.football. That'll redirect you to the place you need to be. And if you want to buy the printed book on Amazon, you can. Obviously, it costs more to get the printed book. If you want to buy the PDF, though, it's $29.99 regularly. But you'll find when you enter the code Niners, Niners, just Niners, you'll get the book for just $1. And so you might as well just put in your back pocket, and it's a great reference tool throughout the course of the season. I know that there are a lot of people that like to look at the rest edges, which I cover on a weekly basis for every single team. You can go through here, see if your team has more rest than their opponent on a given week, but also the original lines. If you're a sports bettor, you can see what the lines were this summer for every single game. And then you can get to like the week 13 game and see how much that point spread has changed, whether or not that's reasonable for it to change that much. There's some betting opportunities there by teams getting overvalued in the week leading into a game that this book will help you with as well. And then, of course, just all the background insight. It's great for, you said, average fans, but also fantasy football fans as well.
Yeah, if you want to take it and just learn a little bit more about your team and have a better understanding of what they do well and what they need to improve on, this is a book for you. If you want to go to war with your friends about who knows more football, this is certainly a book for you. It really is something else. And like you said, to be a really great fan, it's not just knowing what your team does, it's the teams in your division as well. It's awesome insight into every single NFL team, their offseason, their roster, how it's all built, how it's all coached. It's really, really impressive, as is your mustache. If you do not mind me saying, Warren, you should be proud of the book. You should be even more proud of that mustache. It's something else.
Yeah, the mustache has been taking longer to grow than the book, obviously. I've had it for so many years. I don't know what's going to happen if I ever decided to shave it. People certainly wouldn't recognize me, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I like my privacy too, but I really appreciate it. I appreciate the detailed talk about the team. Obviously, I'm sure your listeners do as well. There's a lot of optimism surrounding the team this season, but it's not going to mean anything because you guys have such high expectations if you guys don't get to the Super Bowl and win it. I mean, that's really the only thing that matters for the 49ers, in my opinion, on an annual basis. The same people that are out critical of Kyle Shanahan will be just as critical if he gets all the way to the Super Bowl but loses that game. And that's just crazy to me, but that's the fact of the matter. Until he wins, like you said, everybody's going to continue to be critical of him. I have very high level of confidence, though, that with the schedule of opponents and the schedule of rest and the current roster and the new defensive coordinator that you have coming back, this team is going to get to the postseason. So now it's just a matter of getting the right matchups in the postseason, having the right health at that point in the season, and winning those games, executing in those moments that matter.